Hello and good morning to you. This is Dr. Bill Bledsoe bringing you another practice session of Sacred Heart Yoga, prayers in the morning. We begin by thanking God. God, I thank you for this wonderful method of prayer, this method of each of us praying aloud our most private concerns. Each of us doing body movements to heal our bodies and bring them back to their youthful flexibility and youthful vigor. And we thank the generations that have brought this to us, from the house of Abraham, the house of David, from Jesus, his mother Mary, father Joseph, Mary Magdalene, and Virginia Ellen, who wrote the book, finally, called Sacred Heart Yoga, so that anybody in the world can practice this wonderful ancient method of prayer anytime they want. Now, if you'll repeat after me, we'll say the Sacred Heart Yoga prayer. Beloved, I devote this practice this day to the evolution of my soul, to the fulfillment of my destiny, in service to the One. And I allow myself to be purified as I rejoice in the kingdom of heaven and the love of God. And I give thanks for these blessings, these moments I share with my body and my spirit in oneness with God. And so it is. Amen. Now we're going to clear our energy fields. We do this that means clear our minds of all the fears and distractions and worries and all the things that actually prevent our close walk with God. And we start by holding our hands up to the 12 o'clock, put right arm up to the 12 o'clock position, move it over to the 3 o'clock position, right knee, left knee, 9 o'clock position, and back up to the 12 o'clock position. And as we do this, repeat after me. I clear my energy field of anyone or anything standing within. I bless them and I send them to the light. Now we're going to ask God, how may I serve you this day? How may each of us serve you this day? And the answer always comes to me in just one or two words. And then I use those one or two words, and every prayer from then on, I kind of develop around that theme so that I understand what I was told, how I can serve. So the way we do this, we take our right hand over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, how may I serve you this day? Om. Now we're going to stand up and announce what words came to us, as our intention to serve is to do them, or whatever the two words were, or one word was. We do this by standing up straight and tall, our palms out forward. And here our prayers begin with, God, my intention to serve you this day is to now we make this into an oath, into a contractual agreement with God. In Aramaic, in Jesus's tongue, you would say the word Amen 3 times, and that was your signature. And here we're going to sing it 3 times, any tune, any tone that you want to use, whatever feels natural to you. We'll sing Amen 3 times. Amen. 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 Now we're going to sit back down on the mats and lay down on our backs. In our first pose, we'll pull our knee up, right knee up to our chest and hold it there with our arms and hands. And our prayers here begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we take our right foot in our left hand and pull it over to our left thigh and let our right knee fall down to the mat, and our right arm goes straight up above our heads, extended out and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we switch hands. We take our right foot in our right hand, and our left arm this time goes straight up above our heads and down to the mat. And our prayers, we keep our right foot near our pelvis, and our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we point our right foot up towards the heavens, and our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now our arms fall straight out to the sides, out from our shoulders, extended out all the way, palms up, and we let them lay down on the mats. And our right leg goes up to the heavens and then falls out to the right side of our bodies, opening our pelvis. And we open it as wide as we can, and our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we turn our heads to the right, and we take our right foot and it crosses over our bodies over to the left side. Keeping our shoulders down on the mat, we try to touch the mat with our right foot on the left side of our bodies. Keeping our arms outstretched, and our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we go back to resting position, which is our legs outstretched, our arms at our sides. And this time we pull our left knee up to our chest and hold it there with our arms and hands. And our prayers here begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we take that left foot and bring it over to our right thigh. Let our left knee fall down to the mat. Our left arm goes up to the heavens and down to the mat above our heads. Our left arm goes above our heads and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we switch hands. We hold our left foot in our left hand, and our right arm goes straight up above our head, stretched out and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we point our left foot up towards the heavens and keeping our right arm stretched out and down to the mat above our heads. And our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we let our arms fall straight out from our shoulders again, palms up, and let them fall down to the mat. And our left leg goes up to the heavens and falls out to the left side of our bodies, stretching, opening our pelvis as wide as we can. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we turn our heads to the left, and our left foot crosses over our bodies over to the right side and down towards the mat, but we keep our shoulders down on the mat also. And our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we go back to resting position, arms at our sides, feet outstretched. And this time we pull both knees up to our chest. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we hold our right foot in our right hand, left foot in our left hand, and put the soles of our feet together down near our pelvis. And our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we pull our feet apart, keeping them down near our pelvis. And our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we take both feet and point them up towards the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we let our feet fall down to the mat right near our pelvis. Our arms get extended out to the sides again from our shoulders, but this time our palms are down on the mat. We turn our heads to the left and our knees twist to the right, down to the mat, and we keep our shoulders flat on the mat. And our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we turn our heads to the right and our knees go across our bodies over to the left side, keeping our shoulders down flat on the mat, our arms extended, palms down on the mat, and our knees go over to the left side of our bodies, down towards the mat as far as we can go, keeping our shoulders flat on the mat. And our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we go back to resting position, legs outstretched, arms at our sides. This time we're going to put our hands under our sit bones and we're going to surrender anything to God that might be troubling us, might be worrying us, any fear at all. any fear of our past actions, or our guilt is fear of what we've done in the past. Regret. We can surrender any of that to God. And the way we do this, put our hands under our sit bones and we lean forward on our elbows and try to touch the tops of our heads back down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, God, I surrender to you. Om. Now we take our left arm and point it up towards the heavens and let it fall over to the right side of our body, stretching our shoulder. And we take our right hand halfway between our left elbow and left shoulder, stretching it over farther. And our prayers begin with, God, I choose to. Om. Now we switch arms. Our right arm goes up towards the heavens and falls over to the left side of our bodies, stretching our shoulder. And then we take our left hand halfway between our right elbow and right shoulder. And here our prayers begin with, God, I can. Om. Now we go back to resting position, legs outstretched, arms at our sides. We pull our feet up to our pelvis on the mat, the soles of our feet together right near our pelvis. Our knees falling out, forming a tabernacle, a house of God below our bodies. And then we form a second tabernacle over our hearts by putting our hands in prayer position over our hearts and extending them 2/3 of the way up to the heavens. And in our tabernacle of our hearts, we find God's beautiful chalice. And it's filled with anything we could ever need, desire, or want, being in the service of God. And so here our prayers begin with, God, I drink from your chalice, your wonderful gift of Om. Now we're going to put our hands still in prayer position up above our heads and down to the mat, and let our elbows fall out to the mat. This forms a tabernacle, a house of God over our entire bodies. And our prayer here begins with, God, I thank you for this body, this mind, this spirit, and this soul. Om. Now we're going to go into the anointing series. We take our thumbs in prayer position, our hands in prayer position up to our foreheads, and our thumbs touch our foreheads. And here are our prayers. We're going to do this series 3 times, and we're just thanking God for the gifts He's given us. And you can do the same gift over and over, or you can do whatever you want, whatever feels right. So we take our thumbs, hands in prayer position, thumbs up to our foreheads. And here our prayers begin with, God, I anoint Om. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips, and our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I dedicate this gift only in service to you, this gift of Om. Now we take our hands in prayer position down over our hearts. And here our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for your gift to me of Om. Now we take our fingers and we do a motion this time. We point them down into our abdomens and extend our hands out to the 3 o'clock position when you're looking at it from the right side, and then up to the 12 o'clock position. And as we do this movement, this motion, our prayers begin with, God, I fill my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul with this gift of Om. Now we go back to the second out of 3 in the anointing series. We take our thumbs back to our foreheads, and our prayers begin with, God, I anoint your gift to me of Om. Now we take our hands into prayer position over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for this gift of Om. Now we point our fingers down towards our abdomens and extend our arms out to the 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock positions. And as we do this motion, our prayers begin with, God, I fill my body, my mind, my spirit and my soul with this gift of Om. Now we go back to the third and final in the anointing series. We take our thumbs to our foreheads, and our prayers begin with, God, I anoint Om. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips, and our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I dedicate only in service to you this gift to me of Om. Now we take our hands in prayer position over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for your gift to me of Om. Now we do the motion of pointing our fingers into our abdomens and extending them out to the 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock positions. And our prayers begin with, God, I fill my mind, my body, my spirit, and my soul with your gift of Om. Now we go back to resting position. We cross our right ankle over our left ankle and our right wrist over our left wrist. And here our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for creating my safety and protecting me. Om. Now we roll over on our sides and push ourselves back up into sitting position using our arms and our hands. Take our right foot straight out in front of us. Our left foot goes over our right knee, and we hold our left knee with our right arm. Our left arm goes behind our backs, twisting our head and shoulders to the left. And here our prayers begin with, Desire I am, desire I am, desire I am. I desire. Om. Now we switch legs. Our left foot goes straight out in front of us. Our right foot goes across our left knee. We hold our right knee with our left arm. And we support ourselves with our right arm behind our backs. And we twist to the right. And here our prayers begin with, will I am, will I am, will I am. I will. Om. Now we get up on our knees. Put our hands in prayer position over our hearts. And here our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for. Om. Now we form a tabernacle with our hands by taking tips of our thumbs together and tips of our first finger together. And we put it down on the mat and we put our foreheads into this tabernacle. And here we just take a little bit of time and feel God's love, God's wisdom, God's creation filling every cell in our bodies. Om. Now we go back to sitting position. Our right leg goes out to the right side this time. Our left foot comes to the inside of our right thigh. And our prayers begin with, God, I am. Om. Now we switch legs. Left leg goes out to the left side. Our right foot comes to the inside of our left thigh. And our prayers begin with, God, I will. Om. Now we go back into sitting position. This time we take our palms up on our knees and put our thumbs to our middle two fingers. And we keep our back straight and we bow forward at our pelvis. And here our prayers begin with, I bow to my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul. Om. Now we sit back up straight and tall, and we bow a second time forward at our pelvis, keeping our back straight, and our prayers begin with, God, I bow to you, to the Father, the Mother, the One, the Oneness. Om. Now we sit back up straight and tall, and we feel where we're grounded. We feel the left side of our pelvis and right side of our pelvis touching the mat. And on the left side of the pelvis, our pelvis, we feel God's wonderful white light of love, of nurturing, of creation, of new life, new cells within our bodies, healing us. This white light fills every cell in our legs with the knowledge, with the love to heal. Fills every cell in our bellies, and it comes up into our hearts. And our hearts can shine out with this white light like a beacon to the world. And then the white light comes up into our throats and into our heads, and our heads can direct this white light out into the world. And then it goes out the tops of our heads, up into the heavens, and showers down on the whole earth around us, giving the whole earth God's love if they want it. Now we feel on the right side of our pelvis a blue light of God, the wisdom, the knowing, the doing, the blue light of God the Father. This blue light fills every cell in our legs with the knowledge of how to heal itself, how to grow, how to recreate. Fills every cell in our abdomens with the knowledge and will to do what needs to be done to recreate themselves. Fills our hearts with this blue light of knowing, and it can shine out from our hearts in all directions if we so choose. And then this blue light comes up through our throats and into our heads, and it can shine out, be directed straight out through our foreheads in any direction, any time. And then this blue light goes out the tops of our heads and up into the heavens and showers down on the whole earth around us with God's truth and knowing. And now we step up into the light above our heads, and we can stay here as long as we want. And while we're here, we ask one question. We can ask as many as we want, but one question is always asked. God, what do I need to know this day?